everyone. This is Word Chapter 4, Pause and Practice number 1. And so what I have is our Blackboard system up. I'm in the Chapter 4 assignments folder, and I'm looking at the narrative for the Pause and Practice. So it looks like there are 4 pause and practices for this chapter, and it looks like there's 3 files that I need. So the first one I'm just going to click on. It's going to download here. But these 2 are PNG files, so they're graphic files. So if I click on them, it's going to bring it up, okay? So we don't want that. We want to right-click on them and then save link as. Yours might say save file as. Whatever you need to do, you just need to do save as. And I'm just going to put mine in downloads right now. And then the same thing here, right-click on the for sale, save link as, and save it. So now I have my start file as well as the 2 files that I need when I am working through the material. So I'm going to go ahead and open up the brochure file. I am going to turn around and save it as your initials, PPW, so pause and practice, Word. This is chapter 4, and there's 4, so I'm going to do 4-4. That way we don't have to rename it. Okay, so here we have Emily Cavelli's brochure, and you know, a lot of the text is here, but it's looking pretty bland, not very professional. So what the goal of this chapter is to use tables and to use columns and graphics to get to a nice finished product that is like a trifold. So there's like 3 columns of material that will represent her business well. So the first thing we're going to do is go to the end of the document, Control End, and we want to put in a new table. So tables are a lovely way to organize data. So one of the things that you can do with tables is you can use it to organize work but not show it as a table. It's just a way to organize. This one we're actually going to make it look like a table. But so we're going to insert, and so we're going to insert, and then we're going to find table, and we're going to just start with a 3x7. So I'm going to go over 3 down by 7. And really, what you pick here, it doesn't matter. It's easier to get the columns right, but you'll see that we can change things up. Okay, so we have our 3x7 table, and we're just going to start typing in the first cell, the first little square there. Commitment, tab, to the needs of the client. Tab, we don't have anything for that right now, so we're going to tab again. Communication, seek first to listen, tab. Integrity, tab, doing the right thing, tab. Customers, always come first, tab. Whoops, back, shift tab. Teamwork, work together, for success. Okay, I finished typing those offline. You guys don't need to see me type. So, okay, so I'm looking at this and I realize that I am not going to use that last column, so I want to delete it. So I'm going to select it. So one of the things you want to watch is your mouse. Okay, so your mouse, it's like I-beam, it's, hey, there's a down arrow. It's a black, thick down arrow. That's what I want. I'm going to click on that, and in the layout, I want to say delete column, and it is deleted. I could have also just hit my delete key, but okay. So I'm looking at this and I realize that I have left some stuff off. So I want to go right here in communication, and I'm going to say insert below. It's going to put a new row in here. So I'm going to say trust and begins with communication. And then I am going to go to the last cell where it says ideas before results and hit tab. So at the end, when you hit tab, it just keeps creating the new row. That's why I said when you originally set this up, if you don't have enough rows, it's not a big deal. So we're going to do win-win. Tab is always the goal. Okay, so I think we have the table done. So we want to make sure that we're in the table, and we know we're there because we have our table tools. If you're out of there and the table tools is gone, you just need to click back inside the table and it would reappear. So we want to do auto fit, layout, auto fit the contents. Okay, so because I make each of the columns the width that it needs to fit the contents. But I'm looking at it and it's kind of a little too narrow. So I'm going to be in this first column, and I'm going to change the width here to 1.2. So it just makes that a little bit bigger. I'm going to go to column 2 and change it to 2. So I thought, okay, I started with auto fitting it, but then I adjusted it a little bit. Okay. So in the layout tab, I want to find the properties button. Okay. Because I want to change the row height. So we're going to click on the row, and we want to specify the height, and we want it to be 0.25. Oh, I forgot to select the entire table. So let me undo that. So do you see what happened to me? Let me redo that. I was only in row 1, so it only did it for row 1. We need to do the table selector. So we want to click on this little picture that selects the whole thing. Then we're going to do the width of, what are we doing? The height of 0.25. Oops, shoot, hold on. The height is 0.25. There we go. So now each of the rows are deeper, and I'm not really liking the look of that, but we're going to fix it up. Okay, so I need to unselect the entire table, right? So click anywhere in the table and it's just not selected. So you want to make sure you're in the first row, and we want to do an insert above. So it puts a new row at the top because I want to put a title on this table. So I'm going to put this in, and then I want to merge these. So they're selected. I'm going to say merge cells. So now instead of having 2 columns for this first row, it's actually going to be just 1. And I'm going to say the Placer Hills Belief System. Okay. And so that's that. So the next thing is we want to sort this table. So this is in order. So select row 2 through 10. So in other words, you leave the title, the header row off because you don't want to sort that. Now we need to go back to the data group here. It's in layout, and we want to pick the sort. So it comes up and says, okay, how do you want to sort these 2 columns? Well, I want to sort it by column 1. It's text, ascending, and I want to use paragraphs. So that's usually always what you want. So I don't have a header row because I don't have it selected. So we're going to go ahead and do OK. It's going to rearrange this in alphabetical order by that first column. So if you get it out of whack, it's okay. You can just fix it by doing that sort. It's not a problem. All right, so last couple things that we're going to do is change the cell margins and the text alignment. So we're going to select the entire table, okay, and then click the cell margins button, so that's an alignment, and we want to have the left and right be 0.05, 0.05, and then automatically resize to fit contents. That's good. So we're going to go ahead and do OK. Table still selected. We want to do the Align Center Left button. So that's under Table Tools, Layout, Tab, Alignment Group. So we want Align Center Left for this one. So do you see everything kind of still over at the left, but it's centered up and down. So that's good. So first row, we want this to be centered. So we're just going to pick center. So that one is just in the middle. And we're going to save it. And we're good right now. All right, I'll pick the next movie up at the next Pause and Practice. Thank you.